Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today, I'm going to show you how to make Copycat Nestle Crunch Bars. Oh yeah, Crunch Bar is essentially milk chocolate and crisp rice. So it's really easy to replicate at home. And what's cool about this is you can make your own variety of flavors of Crunch Bar. If your favorite kind of chocolate is the Hershey's Symphony milk chocolate, then you can use that to make a Crunch Bar. If your favorite chocolate is semi-sweet chocolate chips, then use that. Maybe the Private Selection Blueberry Almond chocolate bar is your favorite kind of chocolate, then you can use that. So many varieties of chocolate that you can use, so you don't have to just stick to the standard milk chocolate Crunch Bar if you don't want. Also, some of you might be thinking, why don't you just go to the store and buy one? Well, that could be said about anything, right? Why don't you go to the store and buy cookies? Why don't you go to the store and buy bread? Why don't you go to the store and buy a cake as opposed to making them at home? Well, that defeats the purpose of having fun at home in the kitchen. Maybe you do it with your friends, with your kids, with your other family members. You get the idea, right? Also, if you buy in bulk chocolate and bulk crisp rice, a box of cereal, crisp rice cereal, is so cheap. You can make a ton of Crunch Bars that's a lot cheaper than this one bar that cost $1. All right, super easy to make, only 2 ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, you'll find the list of the ingredients and their amounts, but it's pretty easy to memorize this. And now I'm going to start by melting my chocolate. I'm going to demonstrate it with my milk chocolate symphony bar. I also have the almond blueberry dark chocolate, and I also have semi-sweet chocolate chips. And now let's melt the chocolate. I'm going to just do it in the microwave. I normally will do the defrost setting, which is about 45 seconds on my microwave, and then stir, and then defrost setting again and stir. Or also you can do like 25 seconds on high and then stir, 25 seconds, stir until it's melted. Or you could do the double boiler method, which you take a small pot and you put about a cup of water in there, and you take your bowl. Normally it'll be a little bit bigger, so it sits like this. And then the steam from the hot water will heat up the bottom of the bowl and it'll gently melt the chocolate. That's the double boiler method. You can do that on the stovetop if you like. I normally just do it in the microwave. All right, the chocolate is melted. Also, I just want to mention, if you are going to use a glass bowl, this is a Pyrex bowl. It is microwave safe, but not all glass bowls are microwave safe, so just double check. Or you could use like a ceramic bowl. Just make sure that it is microwave safe if you want to use the microwave. And once the chocolate is melted, we will add in the Rice Krispies or crisp rice. I usually do a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1/2 cup of chocolate, or like a 4-ounce chocolate bar, or 4 ounces of chocolate chips, and then 1/2 cup of the crisp rice or Rice Krispies. And I don't want to stir like vigorously. You just want to come in here and just fold it all together, because if you stir vigorously, then you'll break up those Rice Krispies, and you don't want to do that. Pretty simple. I'm telling you, this is an awesome way to make your own homemade Crunch Bars. And now what we do, I have a pan here. This is a granola bar pan. I use this for candy bars as well. You can find them at granolabarpan.com. Also online on Amazon, you can find similar type ones. And this one's neat because it has these little lines and to gauge how much you're putting in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill up the cavities with the chocolate. I should be able to get about 4 of these from this one batch. And so I'm just going to put in a scoop here. I'm just going to do 1 scoop per bar first. And then come back and do another scoop. Depending on how thick you want the bars, I don't like them super thick. I like them kind of thin, and just kind of spread it out. You could even go thinner and make probably 5 of these if you wanted. All right, there we go. And then I'll usually come in with like my silicone spatula and just kind of, or you can use the back of the spoon, just kind of push it down Okay, just like that, and then give it a good tap. And there we go. And that is ready to go in the fridge. I'm gonna fill up the rest of these with the other chocolates. All right, so I have all 3 of them done. This is the dark chocolate almond blueberry private selection brand chocolate. This was the milk chocolate symphony bar. These were the semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I purposely did a little bit more crisp rice in this one. You can tell it's more chunky looking. And I did that on purpose just to show what you can do. You could also use less crisp rice if you want and make them more smooth. Another thing you could do if you want the top to be completely smooth is come back in with some melted chocolate that doesn't have any crisp rice on it and just put a thin layer on top and just smooth that out if you want. I don't bother with that, but that would just be a design choice. It won't affect the taste at all. And now let's put these in the fridge for about 30 minutes so they can set up properly. One thing I want to note is I didn't temper the chocolate. And what happens if you don't temper the chocolate is if you leave the candy or the chocolate bar out at room temperature, it'll get really soft and sometimes melt on you depending on how warm your house is. But that's okay. I just normally store those candies in the refrigerator anyway, so it's not a big deal. One of these days I will do a video on how to temper chocolate, but I don't normally do that. I just store them in the fridge, and I like eating them cold also. But another thing you can use is you could use the chocolate candy melts, and those don't need to be tempered at all, and you can put those out at room temperature and they'll take a longer time for them to melt. All right, so let's put these in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. All right, and then when they come out of the fridge, after they have set, you can just come in here and just squeeze the sides of the pan here and just pop out the bar. Look at that, pretty cool. And on the bottom, nice and smooth. And there you go. We have a nice little crunch bar. This is one of the milk chocolate ones. And if I bite into it, look at that. The classic crunch bar center. Pretty awesome. And then for those of you who don't remember what they look like, or if you haven't seen one of these, I'm going to just open it up and show you what these look like. It has their classic crunch symbol on there. And then on the bottom you can see the crisp rice. But it's very similar. This milk chocolate one, the classic one, tastes almost identical to the one that I made. Pretty awesome. These are a lot thinner also than the ones that I made. And then once again, I recommend just storing them in the refrigerator. Even this one with tempered chocolate's getting a little soft. My house here in Arizona, it's a little warm. It's about 81 degrees right now. And so these are getting a little soft. So I just always just store them in the fridge. And when you take them out of the fridge, if they're a little too hard, just let them sit out for about 3 to 5 minutes before biting into them. All right, the homemade crunch bars are done and turned out fantastic. They're really easy to make, only 2 ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into one of these. Oh yeah. I'm gonna grab one of these semi-sweet chocolates. Oh yeah.